Fala galera, eu sou a Dani Buarque e hoje estou muito animada porque vamos entrevistar o RBM do Red Fang. Eu vou fazer as perguntas em inglês e depois eu dou uma traduzida nas perguntas e na resposta dele. Beleza? Can we start it?
Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us, Aaron. It's a huge pleasure. I'm a bit nervous here and very excited. Thank you very much. I will explain the dynamic of the interview. I will do the questions in English, and then I will do a quick translation in Portuguese, so make sure that everyone get what we're talking about.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you. The Arrows was one of the Red Fang most critically acclaimed albums. What would you point as the main reason for this highly positive feedback for Red Fang's 50th career album?
Well, I appreciate that. I personally felt like the success for me, for the record, regardless of what anybody else was, reaction was, is just that we were able to approach the creation of the music and the recording with a lot more time and less pressure, internal pressure. Like we weren't putting any kind of expectations on ourselves. So we just did something that felt natural, and if something didn't feel right, we'd change it, and didn't feel like we were stuck with whatever we ended up with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense a lot. Eu perguntei para ele, eu falei o que ele apontaria como o principal motivo, né, para esse ser um dos álbuns mais aclamados ser o álbum mais aclamado da carreira dele, né, o deles, o Arrow, que acabou de sair. E ele falou que ele acha que foi porque eles fizeram tudo com muito tempo, com muita calma, sem expectativa, sem pressão, não tinha uma pressão interna, eles só faziam o que eles sentiam que era certo. E se não sentia que era certo, voltava atrás e refazia de novo. Então eles fizeram com bastante calma. Okay.
I'm impressed with your ability to remember as much of my blathering and translate it as you can.
I'm making it all up.
Sure. Me too.
You finished recording the album in December 2019, right? A few months before the pandemic, but you didn't release until June of this year. Was it because of the COVID or something else?
Oh, absolutely, because of COVID. Everything was ready to go in March of 2020, and we had a tour booked for June, and then lockdown happened, and we knew the tour couldn't happen, and no tour for us means no record. So we waited.
Eu perguntei para ele, né, se o motivo deles terem gravado em dezembro de 2019 só lançado agora, né, em junho, se teve alguma coisa a ver com a pandemia ou se foi outra coisa. E ele falou que sim, que eles terminaram de gravar no começo, né, eles iam lançar já no começo de 2020, iam já sair em turnê no meio do ano. E para eles, se não dá para sair em turnê, não tem como lançar um álbum. I supposed to ask you in the end of the interview, but I will ask you now. It's about the live shows. Now, you guys are known for a very energetic performance. So how was it for you to deal with the fact that you cannot play, especially when we didn't even have a vaccine going on? How was it for you?
At the very beginning, I was pretty excited to spend as much time with my wife and son as I could, because as a touring band, I basically get just little pockets. But about the fall of 2020 is when I started really feeling basically withdrawal from playing live shows. It was really tough, and realized that like my mood was being drastically affected, because I've been playing in front of audiences since I was 8. And so not doing it just felt like part of me and my identity was just missing. It was not good at all.
Not good at all.
Yeah.
Ok. Eu ia perguntar no final da entrevista, né? Eu falei para ele que aproveitei o gancho aí dos shows que a gente estava falando, e perguntei como é que foi para ele, né? Lidarem com o fato, né, de estarmos em uma pandemia, a gente não poder ir ao show, né? Não ter nenhuma vacina à vista, né? Alguns meses atrás. E ele falou que no começo ele ficou muito empolgado porque ele estava muito exausto, né? E ele ficou feliz de poder passar mais tempo com a família dele, com a esposa e com o filho. E que depois de um tempo que ele começou a se preocupar, porque ele viu como estava sendo afetado, né, a indústria como um todo e também a equipe, a banda, e aí foi quando ele começou a se preocupar. Ok. It's not a secret that you are a band very known for your creative and fun music videos. Is it something natural for you guys, or do you still feel some kind of pressure every time you have to shoot a new music video?
It's too bad that's not a secret because we've been trying to keep our music videos secret. I guess putting them on YouTube is a pretty bad idea in that regard. But the second video that we did, which was Wires, I felt that pressure. Like Prehistoric Dog was so good that I thought there was no way that we could ever match the quality of that one. But then Wires was totally on par. And essentially, once that one had been done, it's all just been fun. I haven't felt any pressure whatsoever for the videos after that, because that solved that whole problem right at the beginning.
Ok. Eu falei para ele que não é um segredo que a banda é muito conhecida por serem muito criativos, né, nos seus clipes. E perguntei se era uma coisa muito natural para eles ou se eles ainda sentiam algum tipo de pressão quando eles têm que gravar um videoclipe. E ele falou que sentiu sim essa pressão no segundo videoclipe, porque o primeiro foi tão bom, a ideia foi uma coisa original, e aí ele falou, putz, e agora? Mas depois que eles depois que eles gravaram o segundo clipe, ele falou que não sente mais e que é uma coisa que flui naturalmente. Oh, I almost skipped a question. Sorry, it's about Neros. Funeral Coach is also quite a curious title. What was the inspiration for the song?
I don't know if you have like a word for a car that carries a dead body.
Yes.
So we call it a hearse here, or some people call it a funeral coach. And I was just driving down the road one day and saw a car that said funeral coach services. And for some reason, I just thought of like, a football coach. And the idea of somebody who has to coach you on how to feel at a funeral just kind of, I don't know, it just struck me as being this fun. I think of stupid word humor all the time, and that was just one of those ones that it was a working title at first, and then it ended up sticking as the main title for the song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Eu falei para ele que o Funeral Coach é um título bem curioso, né? Como que foi a inspiração para a música, né? O que passou na cabeça dele, né? Para ter esse título. E ele falou que um dia ele estava dirigindo, né? Na estrada e ele viu como é que chama? Eu esqueci o nome daqueles carros que levam, né? Caixões e tal. E aí ele viu um desses carros e estava escrito carro de funerária, né? E aí estava escrito Funeral Coach. E aí ele falou, nossa, imagina se tivesse um treinador, né, coach, um treinador para te treinar em como você deve se sentir em um enterro. E que é basicamente isso a ideia da música. I heard you had an empty pool in the studio where you guys recorded arrows. And after you've done, John used the empty pool to overdub drums. Is it true?
Yes, it's totally true. The pool was built by it was built for skateboarding. So it's like a big, 2-level kind of rounded pool that honestly I was mostly scared of, because you have to push all of your equipment right by it when you're loading into the studio, and I was always scared I was going to fall into it. But yeah, Chris Funk, who recorded the record, had put drums in there for some other kind of like slower bands and really liked the sound, and so he had the idea to put John in there just for a couple of the slow songs, because otherwise it just sounds like chaos. So I think it worked out great. I think it sounds amazing.
Cool. Eu falei para ele que eu ouvi dizer que no estúdio que eles gravaram tinha uma piscina vazia e que depois que eles terminaram as gravações, o John overdubbed a bateria. E eu perguntei se era verdade, né? Se rolou esse overdub aí. E aí ele falou que sim, que é verdade, que eles tinham um bowl de skate lá. Era tipo, eles usavam essa piscina vazia como um bowl de skate. Ele falou que, inclusive, ele sentia medo de cair, porque eles tinham que passar por ele todas as vezes que entrava no estúdio. E aí ele falou que depois, né, o Chris, depois que eles gravaram, ele foi lá e nas músicas mais lentas, eles fizeram esse overdub de bateria, porque se fizessem nas músicas mais rápidas, ia soar como um caos. Ok. Let me, just a second.
Sure.
Oh, thank you. I heard you wanted Arrow sounding more like the first album. Is it true? How was this composing process?
We had spent, I think that our approach for both Whales and Leeches and Only Ghosts, they were, as much as we were trying to avoid doing this, we couldn't help but put pressure on ourselves to make records that, you know, we felt like would satisfy fans, you know, the label, whatever. Like, not necessarily, we weren't writing for the fans, but we still had sort of like this internal pressure that we put on ourselves that, like, oh, now someone's actually going to be paying attention to something that we're doing. Whereas in our entire lives before that, no one cared, which meant that we could just be free to do whatever we wanted in our own minds. And so with this, we've been trying to get back to that kind of mental state forever. And I just feel like we were able to do it with this record, where we just released ourselves from any kind of expectations and just let ourselves be free and just create whatever came out. And we didn't censor ourselves at all. And we just, you know, sometimes we recorded a song that we had barely practiced at all, or that we had not even finished writing, and we just said, let's just do it and just see what happens.
Ok. Eu perguntei para ele que eu ouvi ele dizer em uma entrevista que ele queria que Arrows soasse mais como o primeiro álbum. E aí eu perguntei como é que foi o processo de composição. Ele falou que a diferença desse álbum é que ele queria resgatar aquele mindset de primeiro álbum, que era tipo assim, quando eles fizeram uma coisa sem nenhuma pretensão, eles estavam fazendo por diversão, muito natural, né? E que isso acabou se perdendo um pouco durante o tempo, né? Ele falou que eles nunca se limitaram em, não, vamos escrever para vender, vamos escrever para os fãs, mas rolava uma pressão interna, meio que automático, e às vezes eles gravavam músicas que ele achava que nem estava ainda pronta, né, que eles nem tinham praticado, nem tinham tocado, nem tinham ensaiado ainda direito, mas eles tocavam, mas eles gravavam e já lançavam. Então, dessa vez, eles tentaram resgatar essa sensação do primeiro álbum, né, de fazer com calma, fazer meio que de dentro para fora.
Did I just see a little cat walk through the screen?
Yes. She was like scratching me here.
And is that a piano back there too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Red Fang played a few times in Brazil, and the first one was 9 years ago on Furão do Rock and at Inferno Club in São Paulo. It was insane. Maximus Festival was part of the tour in 2017, and after 1 year, Red Fang's South American tour visited us again. I have a feeling you like Brazil. Any feeling or memory you can share with us?
I mean, the one that I think that I keep sharing over and over again, and that I think everyone who was at that show, they felt the same thing that we did, which is that first show at Inferno Club in Sao Paulo was just like totally amazing show for everybody. In fact, we even did a live stream, our first live stream ever last night, and one of the sort of Q&A questions came from someone who was at that show, and she said that she actually ended up meeting her her boyfriend through their mutual connection to Red Fang. So that was a very, very special show. And just the general, just the accepting and kind of like the vibe of Brazil in general is just one that we really appreciate. Because there's some places that, you know, the shows are fun, but then the sort of like environment or the, you know, all the logistics just feel more, I don't know, uptight or something. So as much as we can come back, we want to come back. It's fantastic. And maybe next time vacation for a while at the beach in Florianopolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone talks about the show at Inferno Club. You guys were insane. It was very nice. And I will Phil Mota, that is a guy that is a big fan of you guys.
I know his name.
You know?
Yeah, Phil Mota. Yeah, sure.
He wrote the questions with me. It was me, Phil Mota, and Leandro Copy. And
nice.
he said hi to you.
Oh, great. Tell him hi back.
Okay. So that's it. You want to say something to your Brazilian fans?
Just, you know, everybody stay safe so we can come back and see you again soon.
Okay. Aaron, thank you so much for your time. It's a great honor talking to you. I'm a big fan. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon.
E essa foi nossa entrevista com Aaron Bem. Eu queria agradecer aqui o Leandro Coppi e o Phil Mota, que fizeram a pauta junto comigo. E todo mundo que assistiu até o final, muito obrigada. Se você curtiu, compartilha e é nóis. Valeu!